Serena Williams' guests have been spotted arriving for a star-studded rehearsal dinner in New Orleans with the bride-to-be and her fiancé Alexis Ohanian. Desperate Housewives Eva Longoria, Teen Wolf star Colton Haynes and Williams' agent Jill Smoller were among the close group of friends and family invited to the rehearsal dinner on Wednesday evening, the night before the tennis star is due to tie the knot with Ohanian in an intimate ceremony at the Contemporary Art Center on Thursday. Williams and her guests took over celebrity chef Emeril Lagasse's restaurant Merrill for the event, which is just a few blocks away from tomorrow's wedding venue. Most of the invitees arrived on a mini shuttle bus. The rehearsal dinner started about 6 p.m., while the after-party, also at the Merrill, kicked off at 9 p.m. Teen Wolf star Colton Haynes and high-profile women's sports agent Jill Smoller were also among the party guests, while Lagasse was seen arriving in his chef whites at around 4:30 p.m. to oversee the event. Actress Longoria and her husband Jose Bastian joined the party at around 9:30 p.m., but didn't stay long and was photographed leaving a short while later. Even Serena's non-famous pals put on a glamorous display as they arrived for the rehearsal dinner, with many choosing to flash to flesh in floor-length gowns with a daring split. Williams' sister Venus, and many of her other rumored wedding guests, including the likes of Beyoncé, Jay-Z and Kris Jenner, were nowhere to be seen. But reporters on the scene report that a steady stream of back Cadillac SUVs and Bentleys with darkened windows have been driving into a parking garage with a gate, meaning a high-profile guest could slip through a back door on scene. Merrill, which was closed to the public on Wednesday evening, is also the restaurant that Serena and Ohanian were photographed visiting in October when they were making their wedding plans. It's Emeril's most casual and most affordable spot, with specialties such as fired rock shrimp tacos, yellowfin tuna wraps, smoked pork belly and candied pork ribs, and room for about 100 to 150 diners. Williams also appeared to be treating her guests to some New Orleans specialties after a beignet truck pulled up, and the driver was spotted taking hundreds of the delicious fried dough balls inside the restaurant. An employee at the restaurant, who declined to be named, said that he and the rest of the staff signed ironclad confidentiality agreements. "We're all sworn to secrecy," he said. "The confidentiality agreement are pretty tight." A bartender, who also said she didn't want her name used, added that the lower-level staff weren't even told about the party until they arrived at work. Serena celebrated becoming a new mom back in September by posting a photo of her daughter resting on her shoulder to Instagram, writing, "Meet Alexis Olympia Ohanian Jr. You have to check out link in bio for her amazing journey. Also check out my IG stories." She had guessed that she was having a girl in an interview with Vogue that ran in the magazine's September issue. "Alexis thinks we're having a boy, but I have a strong suspicion that it's a girl," said Serena. 2 weeks after we found out, I played the Australian Open. I told Alexis it has to be a girl because there I was playing in 100-degree weather, and that baby never gave me any trouble. Ride or die. Women are tough that way. Few are tougher than Serena, however, which is why it was a bit of a surprise to hear her say that she was nervous about childbirth in that same interview. "I'm not a spring chicken. The one thing I really want is an epidural, which I know a lot of people are against, but I've had surgeries galore, and I don't need to experience any more pain if I can avoid it," said Serena. "But the biggest thing is that I don't really think I'm a baby person. Not yet. That's something I have to work on. I'm so used to me, taking care of my health, my body, my career. I always ask, am I going to be good enough?" Serena will be back in action next month, which even she realizes is a bit unreal. "It's the most outrageous plan," said Serena. "I just wanted to put that out there. That's, like, 3 months after I give birth. I'm not walking anything back, but I'm just saying it's pretty intense." She then revealed her fear of fading away, something that could never happen given her complete dominance in the sport. "In this game you can go dark fast. If I lose, and I lose again, it's like, she's done. Especially since I'm not 20 years old," said Serena. "I'll tell you this much, I won't win less. Either I win, or I don't play." Williams and Ohanian announced their engagement just a few weeks before the big pregnancy news. He did this by whisking her off to Rome, where the two had met after a chance encounter at their hotel 2 years prior. The pair later detailed their romance in an interview with Vanity Fair, which began when Ohanian refused to move from a table Serena had wanted to use for her group while they ate breakfast. Williams shared the news on Reddit by posting a poem, writing, "At the same table we first met by chance, this time he made it not by chance, but by choice. Down on one knee, he said 4 words, and I said yes." Ohanian, 33, later posted Williams' poem to his Facebook account, writing, "She said yes." He also commented on her poem on Reddit, writing, "You made me the happiest man on the planet." At the time the two did not realize that Serena was pregnant, and she initially refused to even take a pregnancy test when her friend recommended it just 3 days before the start of the Australian Open last January. The test was positive, as were the 5 subsequent ones she took that night. Serena's initial response was shock and concern as to how she was going to be able to play starting Monday, and win Wimbledon in July, which she said had been her big goal for the year. That first hurdle proved to be no real challenger for Serena, who spent the following 2 weeks handily dispatching of each and every competitor she faced down in Melbourne, ending with a win in the finals over her sister Venus. Serena's older sister was one of the few who knew she was pregnant at that time, with Serena keeping the news private for weeks. She finally revealed her baby Joy on social media back in April when she was 20 weeks pregnant. She made her return to Twitter a week after giving birth, when the greatest female tennis player of all time made a point of congratulating this year's US Open finalists. "There are no words to describe how proud and how happy I am for @Madison_Keys and @Sloane Stevens for making the US Open finals," wrote Serena about the 2 young, Black Americans who were competing for the title in New York. "These amazing women continue to change the game and bring excellence, power, finesse and change to tennis." She then added, "What a joy it will be to watch this hopefully first of many finals. Let's go ladies." Serena sent out her love and encouragement despite the fact that she was not competing and that Stevens, the eventual winner, beat her older sister Venus to earn a place in the final. Stevens and Keys may want to enjoy their success while they can, however, as Serena is now looking to come back with a vengeance. She shared video of herself practicing throughout her pregnancy, and there is just one more record she needs to break. "It's hard to figure out what the end of your tennis career should look like," said Serena. "I used to think I'd want to retire when I have kids, but no. I'm definitely coming back. Walking out there and hearing the crowd, it may seem like nothing. But there's no better feeling in the world." She then added, "Obviously, if I have a chance to go out there and catch up with Margaret, I am not going to pass that up. If anything, this pregnancy has given me a new power." The Margaret she refers to is Margaret Court, who has won 24 Grand Slam championships as opposed to Serena's 23 in women's singles. It is a record of lesser importance than the 22 wins Steffi Graf had, which, like Serena's, were all in the Open era. Court won most of her championships before 1968 and 11 came at the Australian Open during a time when the top players did not compete in the tournament. Serena will now have a chance to tie that record should she win in Australia.